Mr. Prime Minister, I would like to thank you once again for the tremendous honor that you have given our institute for having come here today for the Berlin International Economics Congress. It was an honor to have you here, and I think really we were inspired by your lecture, especially the young leaders in the audience. I think really you gave them a role model to look up to as they're actually considering themselves what is this concept of leadership. We would just like to ask you a few questions here to follow up on your wonderful lecture. The first question I would like to ask you is, given the fact that in addition to currently being the Prime Minister, you are also the Minister of Sports and Culture as well as the Minister of Education, what role do you think sports and culture can have in shaping not only a nation's identity, but also its diplomatic relations with other countries and also other cultures?
As you may know, Namibia is a unity in diversity. And we value, in this kind of situation, interaction among people from different cultural groups. We are a unity in diversity because we have different cultures in Namibia. Whether we're talking about language, whether we're talking about background, there are different people there. That we are a small population. So we encourage, therefore, through cultural events, through sports, for people to interact. And in the process of that interaction, people come to know each other and appreciate each other's. Namibia emerged out of a long struggle, and one of the first things we did was to adopt a policy of national reconciliation. And that policy of national reconciliation is actually supported by the idea that people should recognize each other as fellow citizens. And you can only do that through communication, through participation, through interaction, and so on. So sport and culture is also central to this. And also, internationally, I think some of the problems we have is because of the failure of people to communicate. You know, the prejudice, the suspicion that the other person wants to hurt you or has ill meaning or something like that. Some of these barriers can actually be lowered or be broken by interaction through sports, through culture, through exchange, and so on and so forth. So communication is very important for us.
I fully agree. At the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, we say the basis for a sustainable relationship is dialogue, understanding, and trust. So in that sense, any interaction, whether it's sports, culture, that can very often serve as the catalyst. And as you were saying in terms of reconciliation, I also fully agree. It's not just about talking about our strengths or about our successes, but also about our weaknesses and our failures. And in that sense, through honest dialogue and discussion, through sports and art, sometimes many things can be possible that actually aren't possible through traditional channels. So, no, I fully agree. I'd now like to pass the microphone to my colleagues who've prepared also a few more questions. Okay.
Hi, yeah, we've just got a few general questions about Namibia that we thought that you'd be very good, well placed, obviously, to answer. Southern Africa has been quite successful in selling its national brand, especially like South Africa with the World Cup. It's all become very exciting, and Namibia has clearly recognised this. And we've had issues like Brad and Angelina having their kid there, like with making Namibia well known on the international stage. But what do you think is the future of Namibia's national brand, and how will you compete with the success of neighbouring countries like South Africa, or do you think you can benefit off each other?
Well, first of all, we believe that if South Africa is successful, or if Botswana is successful, or Angola is successful, or Zambia is successful, if our neighbors are successful, we will share into that success. So it's not really a question of competing among ourselves. It's a question of complementarity, to complement each other, so that we don't do those kind of things which will create an image of Southern Africa either as being unfriendly area or unstable or violent prone or something like that. We want really as a region to project ourselves as a source of peace, source of stability, as a welcoming region, because we have a lot to share. The new concept we have developed now is this transfrontier parks, whereby a park can cross boundaries, can cross frontiers, and therefore we are trying to limit the frontier, the geographical barriers created by political entities, so that we are seen as a region, we are seen as an entity. So if you take a visit to Victoria Falls in Zambia or Zimbabwe, we want you also to come to the Fish River Canyon on the Orange River, and perhaps we can also continue on to Kruger National Park in South Africa or to Mozambique or what have you. So we are creating Southern Africa as a unit. And we are actually expanding also in terms of our road network systems and also air travel. And we are actually thinking about a one-stop visa, that if you can get a visa for South Africa or any other country in South Africa, that visa should also be applicable to other countries in Southern Africa. So we want to see ourselves as a unit in this regard. Yes.
So, as well as tourism and politics, do you think that Southern Africa could be an economic union? What do you see as the future of institutions like the South African Customs Union? Do you believe that Namibia has an active role in these and that they are beneficial to the region?
Yes, they are beneficial for the region. We want to work towards integration of the region in terms of trade, in terms of investment, and so on and so forth. The only problem we have is that the asymmetry in terms of development. South Africa attracts more investment because of its highly developed economy, and therefore small countries like Namibia or Swaziland somewhere there does not benefit much. But those are the things we have to iron out as a region, so that we benefit in a win-win way as a region.
As the Namibian economy grows, and it is growing, it's done very well, what steps is Namibia taking to improve social inequality, and do you believe that the shrinking gap between rich and poor is possible within our lifetime? Or
Yes, that's a big challenge. We have a historical social deficit created by years of discrimination, and because of that, we have to struggle to at least narrow the income disparities and the inequality within our society, and that's a tough thing. Namibia is one of the unequal societies. Our Gini coefficient is about 0.6, which means this is a country which is totally unequal. And we have to lift up those who were left behind because of discrimination. We have to provide them with productive assets, and also education is the key, because education in the long run is the equalizer. That's why investing a lot in the area of education and also in health.
Namibia has over 1 million tourists a year, and tourism is increasing every year. What measures are in place to ensure that tourism can increase, and what do you think is the key to Namibia's success at attracting continuing increases in tourism?
Well, the key to success, I think we have a reasonable infrastructure. Our road system is reasonable, and we have also reasonable destinations, products people can go to. You can go to a desert. If you want the ecotourism, you can go to a game park if you're interested in wildlife. You can also do cultural tourism if you're interested in diversity of cultures and people. So the products are there. To sustain it, we can only sustain it, first of all, if Namibia is a peaceful country, and also if we can contain crime, so that tourists are not subjected to things like crime and all that kind of thing. And we mean to do so. But of course, we need also to be supported by our neighbors. This complementarity I'm talking about is very, very important. Yeah.
Just one more question quickly. Do you believe that there is more of a growing Namibian national identity, or do you think that people are still ethnically identified with their tribes?
Well, we are unity in diversity. The Namibia identity is there, but that does not mean that it must replace specific cultural identities. Otherwise, we are violating the rights of other people. And the Constitution of Namibia respects the right to culture, to language, to religion, and so on and so forth. So you have to balance the national identity with local identities. And there is no contradiction.
Thank you very much. I think Marx just has one quick question for you. He's gesturing over there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To conclude, Mr. Prime Minister, you know that we have a strong emphasis at the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy on young leaders, on the next generation of leaders. And I wanted to ask you just one question. If you could offer one piece of advice to the next generation of young leaders, especially in the context of not only Namibia, but also the rise of Africa, in terms of really also the future of Africa moving forward, what would that one piece of advice be to the next generation of young leaders?
Well, if I can give my opinion is that the world is a global village. This global village, we must share it. But we must share it equitably. So let's respect, tolerance, and appreciation of our diversity are very important qualities in this relationship, in our global village. There must be respect, there must be tolerance, there must be appreciation, so that there is equality. And that is what is going to take us further as a human race. But if we are inward looking in a global village, inevitably the conflict will start. Because some people will feel left out, and some people will take advantage. That's not good. We must recognize that we all have needs, and we must share what our Mother Earth has provided for us. Thank you.
Very well put. Thank you very much. And I think I fully agree in the sense it's not what we take from society, but what can we give to society. And I think that's really the responsibility that these leaders need to take into their own hands. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very, very much for your presence here today, for the lecture, and for agreeing to conduct the interview with us. It's a tremendous honor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.